Thanks for tuning in to the KRVN Sports Podcast page, your home for all of the local broadcasts produced by KRVN Sports. This page and the playback is brought to you by Hoegemeyer Hybrids, raising the bar on yield performance. KRVN Sports, I'm Jason Jorgensen. There was some news made this week as University of Nebraska-Kearney made the announcement that moving forward into this year, they will be selling alcohol at their sporting events. I had a chance to talk to Athletic Director Marc Bauer about this decision and the Lopers moving forward.
You know, aside from the opportunity to sell alcohol at our sporting events, one of the things that we are doing is we're planning to expand our tailgate area. And Jason, as you know, and a lot of people know, you know, we've allowed alcohol in our tailgate area now for many years. And we've not had one problem. We've not had one problem that's taken place in the tailgate. And so now, literally, with this decision by the Board of Regents, which took place October 4 of 2024, it gives us that opportunity to now sell inside the stadium. And so you know, the whole thing that we're looking at here is that we know it's going to add to the fan experience. You know, we would sure hate for someone not to come because they want to have, an alcoholic beverage and stay home and watch it from their, from a streaming source of some sort. So again, this is for us, I think is going to be something that's going to be a step in the right direction when it comes to the fan experience.
I'm sure, though, probably some hoops you have to jump through and some infrastructure stuff that has had to have taken place on this.
We do. The Board of Regents, you know, they're the ones who made that decision based on data, based on statistics. You know, they looked at the information that's out there. And, you know, I think one of the things that sticks out, you know, for this type of activity is that it curbs binge drinking. And so, you know, it's not something we'd want to see out in the parking lot or, somebody running out of the stadium drinking and then coming back in. But it's also cut down on alcohol-related medical emergencies as well. And so they've looked at the data. They made the decision. It was almost a unanimous decision to expand alcohol sales in the sport stadiums. And so we had to come up with a policy, obviously, to fit the procedures that we wanted to see in place. And it's all based on best practices. You know, this isn't like we're recreating the wheel. I don't know any professional sporting venues that you can't go to where alcohol is being served. Now, do they have their issues? Possibly. But we've not seen that, at least in the MIAA. We will be, I believe, the 9th school out of 14 that sells alcohol in the stadium in the MIAA. And to date, nobody's had any major issues in their stadium with alcohol sales.
One thing I do know that will be different is no readmittance. So once you come in, you're in. If you leave, you're gone.
Yeah, and that's, again, that goes back to the binge drinking piece. You know, we don't want somebody to leave, go out and drink a six-pack, and then come back into the game. Also, we're working through a third-party vendor. Cunningham's will be our provider of the alcoholic beverages. Somebody that's professionally that's their job. They are also concessionaires at the fairgrounds, and so Buffalo County Fairgrounds leans on them, relies on them to know the rules, to be, to have their license and to demonstrate those best practices when it comes to serving alcohol.
Have you heard much feedback from folks? As you alluded to, that this has been in the works for a while. I wouldn't think this probably shocks someone if they've been paying attention at all.
Yeah, correct. And I think if you look at a high level, like a Division I, Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, they seat like almost 90,000, people. And so revenue-wise, this will generate a lot of revenue for a stadium like that has the attendance they do. I don't know how many years they're going on now with a sellout stadium. It's not going to make that big of an impact for us at our level. But at the same token, we got to do it right? Like, we don't want to jump into this without doing our due diligence and making sure that we have all the precautionary items in place so that we know that we're doing a good job. the no readmittance, I will tell you, Jason, is probably going to be tough for some. We have a contingent of our fans that like to go out and tailgate during halftime. And they just have to understand we can't have the best of both worlds here. We're going to sacrifice a little bit for us to have that opportunity. Our stadium is also a little bit different in the fact that our south end zone is a kids zone where we have inflatables and different, opportunities for kids to engage in some type of physical activity other than us expecting them to sit there in the grandstands and watch the game. But that's an area that we're going to patrol a little bit higher, and there's not going to be alcohol, admitted into that area. And so we've got some extra work to do. Obviously, the planning, the time commitment it's going to take to do this is going to be a little bit more, but we feel like it's well worth it. Even if we make a little more revenue to help the athletic department.
That was UNK Athletic Director Marc Bauer. So things will be a little different this fall at UNK sporting events. Once again, the Lopers' first home football game is set for September 6th against Shattern State. For KRVN Sports, I'm Jason Jorgensen.